I cannot believe it's already June. Where did the year go? Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is April and today we're going over June new releases. I have 15. I had 14 and I was like, no, we cannot do 14. It must be 15. So I added one more. So we have a lot to get through. There's a lot of very different types of romance in here. So let's get right into it. The first book I want to tell you about comes out on June 1st, and this one's called A Bounty Hunter's Guide to Romance and Rivalry, and this is by a new-to-me author called Anine van der Rijk. I'll figure out how to say that. This was really cool because it seemed really space-like, sci-fi-like, but it's not. It's kind of like futuristic. And what it is these two bounty hunters here, they used to be partners and they got separated 5 years ago on a job. And now she is still a bounty hunter and he is now an up-and-coming law officer. And they meet at this bar over a dead body and they got to figure out what's going on. This is a new adult romance and I just, again, the cover grabbed me. Really wanted to see what it was all about. I have really loved this art style. It feels very video game-esque, so that's kind of why it grabbed me. June 4th has a ton of books coming out that day. Number 1, Fiasco by Constance Fay. This is sci-fi romance. And it is not with aliens, and that is exactly why I love it. This is the second book. The first book was kind of like a sci-fi action adventure novel, and this is with one of the characters from that novel, and that I'm really excited to see what happens to her. I do have an arc of this one, so I will be reading it very soon as in like today, okay? I'm gonna start it today. So I really hope it's as good as the first one. The first one was just very fun, adventurous, and spicy. And that's what I've really been looking for in my sci-fis lately, is just a sci-fi non-alien that's like a space opera with a lot of action adventure. And I really hope this delivers. Also on the 4th is Leather and Lark, and this is from Brynne Weaver. Brynne Weaver kind of took us all by storm with Butcher and Blackbird. And this book is all about serial killers falling in love. It's a lot like a rom-com with very dark themes happening in the background. And I loved it. I loved everything about Butcher and Blackbird. And I really can't wait for this one because the guy is like Irish and all I keep thinking is Daddy Caleb. Like that's the voice I hear in my head when he speaks, when I read quotes from him. He's gonna be a Daddy Caleb. And I can't wait to see what goes on with these two. The next book is Isabel and the Rogue, and this is by Liana de la Rosa. I have been dying to read the first book in this series, but it's like one of those books that keeps eluding me. I cannot find it. I need to just buy it already because I really have been wanting to read these Luna sisters. In this one, again, this is the second book. I don't know that you need to read the first book in order to read this one, but this one is about another one of the sisters. She's trying to gain intelligence from the British intelligence agency, that anything that will help aid the Mexican occupation of the French Revolution? The French occupation. So a lot of history going on this already. And the hero is a covert agent for the British Home Office. So, ooh, opposite sides. Love it. I have been dying to read these. Again, like they just look so cute. The covers are adorable. I love them. And I love a good historical romance. The next book on the 4th is The Wren in the Holly Library, and this is by K.A. Lind. All I know about this is that it says a dark Beauty and the Beast retelling. Obviously there's something about a library going on. Maybe I should actually read the synopsis. Ooh, a street thief. You had me at street thief. I don't need to know anymore. Okay, I will just read this just because you said street thief. I'll take it. On June 11th is a book that I do have an arc of and I will be reading, and the sole reason that I requested this is because it said Sapphic Space Odyssey. Again, I've been really looking for romances that are sci-fi that are not alien. Again, nothing against alien romances. I love them, I read them, but I just want humans in space having adventures. So I will be reading this as well very soon. June is a busy month for me. I have a lot of arcs coming out that I absolutely need to get to. Her and her friends steal a spaceship. That's another reason why I downloaded this, and I really didn't read more into it because, like, honestly, stealing a spaceship, that's got to be an adventure. Probably my favorite cover of the month goes to Goldie and the Big Bad Werewolf. Look how stunning this cover is. I cannot get over it. I really wish historical romances would follow this type of cover where it's illustrated. It feels dreamy and romantic and over the top, but also sweet. Oh, I love it. I love it. This says it is a sweet and cozy romance fantasy. Her name's Goldie. She's traipsing through an enchanted wood. She meets the big bad werewolf, and she's not afraid of him. She falls in love with him a little bit. And looking like this, how could you not? On June 18th, we have a historical romance called The Viscount's Marriage of Inconvenience. This is by a new author to me, Barbara Russell. I don't really see any other books written by this author, so maybe a debut. Keith is a servant in a rich household. Violet is a daughter of that household, teaches him to read. He loves her. But Keith learns a secret from Mr. Sharp that takes him down. He feels obligated to tell that secret, and the Sharp family lose everything. Violante, her name is Violante, not Violet. Violante goes from riches to rags. Years later, the roles are swapped. Keith now becomes elevated in status, and Violante is now a servant. And they meet each other again, and I'm assuming they fall in love. This story just sounded really cool, a little bit different than what I'm used to, so I had to put it on here. The next one on June 20th is Forked. It says a lighthearted utensil romance. Yes, it immediately went on Weird Ass Romance Book Club. It's definitely need to read this. On June 21st is Devil's Deal by Layla Faye. All I know about this one is that Layla Faye doesn't normally write dark romance, but this is her dark romance. It says, the devil craves my soul. It calls to him like the scent of fresh blood. I am not afraid. Yeah, I like Layla Faye. I like a good Layla Faye. I probably need to read more from her, and I definitely think that I'm gonna have to put this one on my list. On June 25th is a book I'm reading right now and absolutely loving. It's The Mistress Experience by Scarlett Peckham. In this one, Thais, I think that's how you say her name, I'm not really sure. She is a notorious prostitute, and her time is being auctioned off. 30 days of her time is being auctioned off. And somebody buys her for a ridiculous amount of money for charity. And the person that buys her is not the person that buys her. He's only a proxy. Instead, who buys her is Lord Sheen, and Lord Sheen wants to take a wife this year. However, he has no idea how to pleasure a woman, so really he buys Thais to teach him love lessons, or pleasure lessons, as we could say. This book is chock full of banter. It's so good. So good. It's so fun, and Lord Sheen is the absolute sweetest soul you will ever meet. Pick this one up. I did not like Scarlett Peckham's second book, but I love the first one, and this one is probably the best one that I've read yet. Absolutely wonderful. Buy it, buy it, buy it. If you are a historical romance lover, just read it. Also coming out on June 25th is One Cursed Rose by Rebecca Zanetti. Rebecca Zanetti is a romantic suspense author, and this is like her first fantasy romance book. So I think there's fae in it. I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't really want to know much more about it, but I love Rebecca Zanetti's suspenseful books, so hopefully this one will be good as well. And on June 27th is Forever Her Scott. This is by Scarlett Scott, and I read the first book in this series this month. It was great. These are all novellas. Scarlett Scott is a queen of Kindle Unlimited historical romances. I don't really know what's going on in this one. All I know is there's a Scott. and it's gonna be a novella, and I love these covers. And Scarlett Scott writes really spicy historical romances, and they're great. So I will be reading this soon. On June 28th is A Love Beyond the Stars, and this is by Jennifer Chipman. Again, another sci-fi romance involving humans and not aliens. This also looks to be like some kind of sci-fi adventure. Looks like Aurelie is a new pilot, and she's been dying to get out there and adventure in the stars, but her new captain on her commission is such a grump. I love it. Oh my gosh, she's the daughter of his childhood icon, so he's kind of real nervous around her, and that's why he's grumpy. I love it. This is another one where the cover just grabbed me. This is Living My Hex Life by Eve Hart. In this one, you have a witch who lives in a swamp and just wants to be left alone when this monster just wants to come over and borrow some sugar from his new neighbor. She hexes him. This one just looks adorable. I think it is more on the sweeter side, so a sweet monster romance. And I don't know, the cover just got me. I love these types of cartoon covers. They're just great. And those are all the June releases that I'm looking forward to. There were a lot of them this month that I think are just adorable or cute. And am I in an adorable, cute mood for summer? I might be. I just might be. Let me know in the comments below if any of these strike your fancy. Maybe you want to read them too. As always, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!